we're going to map 3, people, as Furia is outside getting some fresh air because, oh boy, that one was a long game on Haven. But they managed to take it, and that means that NRG now finds themselves in quite the precarious position as we get ready for Pearl. Of course, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Mimi as well as Mel. But Furia now one step closer from being able to clinch his playoff spot, which, you know, I mean, yes, NRG is trying to stay alive here, but that is the important thing for Furia. They want playoffs, Mimi.
They absolutely do. And this game was so impressive. After a very close first half, it looked like NRG had a read on that defensive side. But in those last few rounds, Furia took advantage of just a few little mistakes that NRG made in those late round retakes, pulled it back, and have now pushed us all the way to Pearl.
It was those small timing in those last 3 A retakes that just threw everything off kilter for them. I think that was what broke the camel's back. And you look, they had 9 potential retake opportunities on NRG, and they only won 2 of them across the board.
It was wild to see. But even before that, what got Furia so close into that game was the eco rounds. The first half in particular, they were winning just an absolutely absurd amount of these eco rounds. It seems like this team, when they're on these later buys, they just let the individuals off the leash, and DJ just does stuff like that.
I mean, that's what they're known for, is just this individual play. Like, there's no support there. That is purely an unassisted. He's in a micro 1v3, just dueling them by himself.
But you can also see how that would also work against them, because it happened multiple times, right? Digizine kind of trapped in a position where he's like getting a little too antsy, but it's the fact that his skill-wise, his aim is out of this world. He's cracked out, but it's those small details as well. But even with that, they were still able to walk away with the win, Mimi. Yeah,
it's great from Furia, but for NRG, this is a team that we normally pride for their ability to kind of shut down those solo plays, to find when people are getting aggressive. Look at their series versus Crew on Haven. They did such a good job of denying Kez at those moments. But here it seems so much scrappier from NRG. There was a lot of gaps that Furia managed to find and exploit with just that insane player quality.
And that's where it comes out the most, I feel like, on these anti-ecos that NRG kept losing. It was 5 total and 2 from each team. There's also 1 that happened to NRG on bind. You can't let these things get out of play. Like, you can't just lose control of these situations. And yet, time and time again, it's DJZine, DJZine, DJZine. He's coming up and getting these important kills for the team.
Yeah, and also, too, it's important to note, right, like, when we see Furia play, we know that the aim skill, it's raw, it's there, it's nasty. But you want to see these side effects. You want to see this coordination start to come in here. And maybe you were getting a little bit more of that from Furia, especially toward the tail end of this game.
I mean, you saw some of the things that we were priding NRG for in map number 1 out of the seam on that C exact. It was the patience to kind of take the first stage towards the site, pause for a second, wait for the counter utility, then push deeper through. In this round as well, it's finding the gap on the player towards hell and having everyone else ready to swing once the volley of utility falls from NRG. Furia is a squad that is so good at, when given an opportunity, claiming it and winning those rounds.
Yeah, well, we told you it was going to be a banger series, and I don't think we disappointed there. NRG and Furia definitely didn't disappoint. 13-11 Bind, 13-11 Haven. But now we settle the score on Pearl as we head to the underwater city to determine who walks away with this win. And honestly, at this point now, hands in the air, Mel. I don't care. I'm in for the ride, baby. I just want to see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't want to see 5 more thrifty wins in 1 I'm good on
I don't know if you can handle that.
I can't. It's too much.
Oh, all right. We'll see what we get here.
Comp change out of NRG. Previously, they were playing this Raze comp, which I think the idea was kind of an anti-Harbor Viper to use that nade to shut down plants and such. But that doesn't end up happening. Instead, they pivot Artis over to the Jet, just playing the standard meta comp as Furia does as well.
That's an interesting change. I've actually always liked the Raze and that additional util that NRG has shown on this map, but it looks like they really want to keep Artis on that Jet pressure and keep that up online.
It might be about the attacking sides. That's where they're starting here, and in the past, they've really struggled, particularly with the post plants, at getting in, and the Jet gives you a lot more proactivity than that Raze for Artis.
All right, guys, well, we got 1 more map. Is it going to be NRG or is it going to be Furia? Let's send it back over to Vansili and Rip for the call.
Thank you, GB. Even I don't know the answer to that one because we've had an amazing series between these 2 teams. The first 2 maps going 13-11, and in past histories for these 2 teams as well, they've got victories going to 13-11 or losing 11-13 to other teams like MIBR or Leviathan. But now I'm hoping at least for this series to go to the distance, because if not, I'll be sad.
Quadruple OT. There we go. manifest it. It'll come.
The race stays strong, and it's neck and neck now.
I'm ready for this Artist Jet to come out on the site. Desk was talking about all that utility Rays can dump in. We'll have to see how it's changed up here with the Jet being played. I think the team can follow a Jet a little bit easier. Jet gets to play that Jack-in-the-Box style play out of her own Cloudburst and allow the team to regain that distance that Rays may make with blast packs. Cascade, default take towards B long here. Mid pressure may be gained by Furia, and that's when they can start to crunch the map. So NRG may have to work fast out of this situation. Ooh, patient dog.
No stun there, but a dash right into the alarm bot and a nanostorm to come out, but that doesn't matter for the rest of NRG. We've moved in for a plant off the cove, and Artist now has control at the back of the B site. Triple flank coming out from Furia right now, though.
They made good ground. We're actually waiting in spawn right now for this 3 stack to get out towards B long and create the pressure for the retake.
So Furia is not allowing here NRG to play the pulse plant. One make it away, but Victor still gets picked on by MW0. Here comes the fight. Long range finesse with the Sheriff. But the fight comes back here inside the B site. Both players moving in from long B, and both players getting dropped by NRG.
Wow. NRG really identifying where the danger was coming from in that situation, held their positions perfectly, and just having 2 to start denying the 3, 2 members of NRG to start denying the 3 on that B-long retake. Actually pretty impressive here. NRG, a 1B strat to start us off, and they do get a successful post-plant and take on that. Little A orb control here for the secondary part of the second round, I should say. And we still have this lurk coming out of Finesse. I'll have to see how aggressive Furia gets for these positions, how constant they're going to do this. Harbor wall out right away.
You're asking how aggressive? Very aggressive. 4 players out there. There's the first shot from Artist. The flash. At least we answer back for a bit of damage. And that you're going to be happy with, though. Crouch is getting 3 kills in an orb. You're getting so close now into the Seekers on the next round if he goes for the plant.
And we know how much that NRG focuses those Seekers. Even with the Rays on bind, they were still going for a bit of that sky play, making sure that they could get themselves up towards that Seekers information grab. Planted. And already the plant, too. You were calling it, Vans. It's definitely a priority here.
You see it, NRG. Finesse is saying, go for the kill.
Yeah, find it. Get your ult now.
Player, exactly. or you get the kill, or you die, and we'll get the Seekers.
Make it happen.
So the other one's just playing the pulse line in case
toxin screen down.
They get ninja'd by Madzine right here. But he's just holding his ground towards Plaza. Doesn't want to give that orb away from to Crashies, rather.
Well, he's in range now, so he can kind of play it real slow.
What's that game called? Hide and Seek? Ninja USP?
Did you say what that game is called? What's that game? You know it's called Hide and Seek.
And there you go. No orb coming out for Crashies. The round comes in for NRG. So focus potentially into the next round to fight for orb control for NRG that could get denied by Furia.
Over towards B to start things off. Seeing QCK go towards this B link area makes me think we'll get a harbor wall mid. And they may try to just add a little bit of pressure even if they don't aggress it. It looked really funny. I love when you see players early play anti-flash. Like, did you see just jumped out there and looked at the wall, like in the middle of the open. Ended up turning around when that flash came around. So a good wait by NRG as well to time that one in their favor.
Look at that, it's a double spray too.
Yeah.
Just to try to get players crossing over, and Crashies now picks it up, and yes, Som is moving down.
He's ready to unload on any spammable spot, and they know they're going to be spamming fans, so buy an Ares. They go into the site, that's the Cove plant, and it is going to be the retake for Furia. We have guns on both sides now, just the util to be used on the retake.
Seekers to gain the space to push in through behind the Trailblazer, but Artist couldn't get that kill into spawn. Look at Furia rotating across all the way back towards spawn. Don't want to play the retake from long B. But this little retake's going to be so slow.
What's the move? Does he fly in the back of Hall?
Yeah, doesn't even have the high tide to come out. Okay, the high tide crosses towards the back of the halls. Flash to flash, and it's a surprise one from Som. The spray with the Ares with the second one too. Did you see him moving in? And that Ares did a lot of damage into the round. Time for QCK to save and for NRG to move up by 3 into the round on Pearl.
Som over here just holding down the trigger, basically creating audio warfare. So Furia's not even hearing a damn thing as they enter the site other than Sam's Ares. That makes things tough in the chaos.
That Ares is bassy, and we feel it here in the Riot Arena.
Oh yeah, it's shaking the ground a little bit. There it is.
Ooh. Nice sensory little feelings, tingles I'm getting right now.
All right, 4th round. NRG cleaning up the bonus, able to pull that into their favor here. Really nicely done. A reckoning to work with. NRG, a lot of times using that to separate a team who's already pushed off site. Once NRG has flexed a little bit, they'll use it on when Furia would retake, pushing them back even farther or forcing their hand to come into an aggressive stance. A main orb fight goes down once again. That's going to be a win for Furia, at least on a little bit of map space, but NRG feeling fine with guns here and still nobody taking any damage.
And Trailblazers saw 3 players too, so NRG is quickly pivoting towards the B site. Created by Marshall, by Manzine. But Manzine just holds the door open now for NRG to move in. Snake bites to delay for any crosses coming out. And delaying any pushes coming out from the B-Link as well. And that's going to be a little bit of a 101. Nonetheless, plant still comes down. And NW0 is looking for a timing play with the Stinger.
Just hearing the kill, jumping around on the other side.
High tides too, good to continue to delay. Cascades too, there's finally a nice shot coming out from Manzine. But you can definitely see it now. The 4th round in the sights for NRG. As Furia not committing into the retake.
Remaining.
Continue to build up these kills. But it comes down to the nice execution back for NRG on the lower buy for Furia. Manzine fall from the spike.
Yeah. No more of these eco round wins that NRG are going to be letting through, playing much more safe. The protocol here, you can almost see it every time. He did it. Sam did it with the Ares last time, but the Phantom, this positioning, it's that Sam gets to this positioning with the help of Crashies. They hold back Hall, and the rest of the team knows what to do already. So as long as NRG can get that into place, they feel super comfortable on these holds. And that, the strength of them, the takes and post plants all being successful for NRG, you're going to force a timeout here for Furia.
And always micro adjustments coming out of these timeouts from Furia. So far, it's been an inning game. A plant try to play the retake. Just trying to iron out those protocols for the retake. You saw the idea with the high tide on that attempt at round number 2, if I'm not mistaken, when they were trying to flash behind that high tide, but NRG were already ready for that. How do you break that timing now?
Honestly, you get Furia to call a timeout, you go mid to A or just A. It's been B the whole time with a bit of early round A main control. The mind games start now. Furia's conditioned that B is going to be a hit now from NRG. Something Finesse is instilling in their minds with always an early round towards A. So Furia left guessing again here out of this timeout. Digizine with the operator though. So let's see if they can get themselves into a position to make sure this gets a return on investment. And they're actually choosing the short shot of it. They're going to put it towards A main here. So Digizine's going to have to be even more careful, get out of that situation if he gets rushed. Ping's coming in all ready to say something may be up here at A main. Digizine dodges it. A peek through that is so tough because you're already slowed. And he doesn't even want to chance it.
Especially when the cannon of that operator is just sticking out.
Exactly.
But there is that high tide that comes in behind the cascade, yet QCK still gets the pick onto Artis' updraft. Now the battle comes down into Art, the control attempt. Even you saw Finesse running through his own snake bite to get vulnerable for the kill, and NW0 makes it away with 19 HP. Meanwhile, though, the plant has come down towards the A site. There's a late lurk coming out from Manzine. Closing the gap. You need Furia to make the noise here from spawn. Before you could actually get the retake coming in from Art. And there is that noise being made. 2 of them spraying from the flower pots. Flash is coming out just to try to blind a bit. But that clock is ticking out way too quickly in the eyes of Furia. But they're still falling in. Just kills are still coming out for NRG, and it's not going to happen. This round's got to come in for NRG no matter what, with the last two pillars on the long range defense.
Oh, it gets the op. Wow. That was a great retake by Furia as well to figure out the crossfires, but it was too little too late with the amount of pressure that NRG put onto this round, and it was a switch up. The timeout gets called, and NRG switches it over to A for the plant. And you saw how committed they were to pushing through that molly. It was Finesse's own molly, so you're seeing that even if NRG is stalled a little bit from their strategy, they're doing everything they can to repair that, get the site, and help Sam and the rest of the team that were trying to plant. That was a tough one, but NRG still come out strong. Low buy here for Furia. Can they get back to some of these eco round wins at the distance here at B Long? NRG doing a great job to keep that space and say no way to those stingers. But is it the Blade Storm from Digizin that changes this round?
He's in a great spot for it. There's that first flash, but he's not affected. There's that first kill. The second one does his job. But quickly, NRG move forward, and then W0 comes out with the Sheriff, catching Artis off guard. Now burning away from a Nano Swarm, down to 41 HP. Spike now recuperated.
Destroyed.
Back and latched on Victor, as he and Finesse are looking to turn around back in their favor. But as they cut noise, they're also making sure that to get some sort of timing, some sort of punish.
Yeah.
As Furia, for their sides, are looking to pick up the rifles that were left behind on this push.
And this looks to be Furia's first plant denial of the map, too. Holding strong, still doable here by the two members, Finesse and Victor. They try to drop the wall on their own time.
There's no flash.
To get that frag through. Yeah, there's no flash to be playing with.
30 seconds left.
But there's a Sheriff!
Three of them! Might have cursed that one, my bad. Said we might be getting another Furia eco here, and they actually do pull it out.
So that's
that was huge.
That's a blessing this time.
Yeah, a blessing there. Digizine, nicely done. And yeah, Furia stops that pressure here. NRG's been able to make the site, get that spike down, and secure a post plant. Here, they don't even get the plant, so no extra money, no extra ground gain. And a little bit of confidence here as Furia gas themselves up.
That's the fourth eco of the series in favor of Furia.
Right, just keep adding them up, man.
Against NRG was what, like one?
Yeah. Crazy stuff. A lot of ult here for NRG to force themselves into a site, but Artis has taken some major damage to start this round at long.
That's definitely the silver lining. Winning 5 rounds in a row, having that economy, having the ults to potentially break the economy right away against Furia, should Furia want to go into like these heavy commits back to retake the A site. Saying A site this time around because we have a lockdown initiated by NRG and waiting for the high tide to come out and move into the A site.
Looks like they'll save Reckoning for that post plant. Artis healed up now. That Judge comes up big, and the Viper's Pit goes down. A lot invested into this round. If Furia could pick this up, it will be huge.
Toxin screen down.
Look at that. Finesse pretty much could just hold behind his pillar the whole time to kick that pit up.
Oh, the delay.
There is that Reckoning to delay even more. We still have the Judge inside of this pit. Seeker is now being used from Crashies to find the information close. Artis is just waiting by the shed. But everything is looking good for NRG right now because you do have everything, the time in your side. And it might be even a 5-player save for Furia right now. Wow.
Taking a strat page out of Leviathan's book.
Wait. Okay, Artis should make it out.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, just on the edge.
It's okay, he had a Judge,
That's true, he did have a Judge. That's why I think why he took so much damage in the beginning. That smoke went up a little late for him on the peek across. He got a lot of damage out of Khalil there that caused Crashies to have to heal. And overall, they still grab it, not a problem once they gather together at A. And shut down Furia. That's a tough one. Furia can't get their money correct after this. It becomes really tough getting reset, especially with an op buy.
Yeah, and NRG really used everything on that previous round.
Yeah, look at actually 0 ult points. It's a rarity to see unless you're on pistol rounds. So this all comes down to the utility team play. They have no big ace up their sleeve to get this site take.
And also to try to stop the Digizine with this operator in the Trailblazer side. Yet NRG still wants to commit into this because a dash has been used by Digizine, but he repositions towards the back of the B holes.
They invest so much to get him off this pick, just to make him feel uncomfortable.
An off shot missed, but MW0 is still there for the crossfire. 3 players inside the site.
MW0.
Yeah, with the spray through the toxic screen on the attack left up, but the Nano Swarm answers back. Re-heal coming out from Crashies. And NW0 falling doesn't give any heal back in favor of Furia. As NRG is looking to rush all the way back towards the A site, but thanks to the power of numbers, thanks to the kills that MW0 had at the beginning of this round, nobody has to rotate, so Mazazin's waiting there.
So Victor given a job here in this 3v4. He splits off over towards shops. Looks like he may actually be messing with a bit of the KJ util if they can find it. And this activates the team. Still have a guiding light to go. Only one of those used over by
30
B.
seconds left.
Still waiting for the recharge.
Oh, there's a jiggle.
What a hold.
Actually, it wasn't even a jiggle. It was just Finesse trying to walk down, and it was in full sight by Madzine for the kill. And now with the alarm bot, that's just going to be the save now for Crashies. A nice hold from NW0 at the beginning of that round, allowing Furia to move up at 2 on Pearl.
And an important full save by Furia to make this round a possibility. It could be a low buy here if they went down, then they just give another round to NRG. So very smart play across the map, just understanding the state of the game. And that's going to help them get one for themselves. All right, the state of the game is still NRG's in the lead. So we're going to have to see that be carried up. It seems like it's on them now to get these sites taken, as Furia has started to put up a very strong defense. And these late round calls from Finesse are still getting stopped. A little timeout for NRG here so they can discuss that.
Yeah. Especially talking about stoppage now. Chet trying to figure out how they can actually overpower Furia's relentless aggression to just stick within the site. Doesn't even matter if you're going to do lineups here for Nanoswarms and Snake Bites to prevent the B-Link from rotating across. Because everybody's already inside the site for Furia. So is it going to be one of these plays where you want to try to get a little bit more of that mid control to try to force these players away? We haven't seen too much of that into the B-Link pressure coming out from NRG yet.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even needed.
And this Seekers for MW0 works out so well. NRG are calling a timeout. They want to get a lot of return on. If it takes a long time, Seekers. You have Furia figuring out that strategy almost in full, depending on how those read. So a nice little way to stave off the strategy NRG may be coming out of a timeout with. And just saw him forced down onto a little bit of a low buy here. Nope, goes to the Guardian. We saw that banging earlier, so they shouldn't have too much trouble.
And then back to the Bulldog.
And then back to the, you know, he's...
And then the Guardian.
It's whatever. I think he has a coupon for the Guardian, so why not, right? This is our third map of this series here. NRG 3-3, trying to tie up that score line with Furia, who's currently 4-2 if NRG take the win as the run for playoffs continues. A little bit of a rotation off the map as they cascade towards A. And this is just going to be Khalil all the way in the back of sight with some kill utility and delay for the plant here.
Now is a call now for Furia to try to add that pressure into middle. Because NRG haven't been going into that B-Link, that's where Digizine is actually posted up. So Khalil playing the solo B hold. And that's a great opportunity now for NRG to move inside this B site and do that regular execution. But there is still some delay coming out from the Nanoswarms, and Som finally gets the plant in from the Cove.
Just to the left. They double orbit.
Here.
Viper's gas goes down. But now we get our 2 in the back, right? It's actually not going to be Crashies with Som this time, but Artis.
Oh, no. We wanted Finesse to actually break the Seeker. It's just a double swing instead. Nicely done, as you can play the long range. Pulse plant for NRG.
Is that Shorty now?
Furia trying to fight back towards the back hull, and indeed the Shorty from Som gets the kill. Khalil down at 3 HP. And that might be it right there. Can't even escape. Digizine looking to save his operator. That is a nice read for NRG.
Oh, and the kill.
Even better for the kill, but a nice read for NRG to answer back after the timeout.
With a flawless. That's
top of that,
exactly what you need now to make the statement. Keep those weapons up, and it feels good, especially when you can get a flawless against the operator. It means Digizine's not finding anything. NRG is able to avoid that. Furia stuck on how to win these retakes right now. They have a kill round
Enemy remaining.
and a round timeout. That's how they've won so far. The retakes just are not hitting at the moment. The operator makes that much tougher, especially on Pearl, if you haven't gotten the early kills in to shred your opponent. Up on top of the wall. See how they can get a focus on this. Already playing around that energy, goes towards A. Not even for the orb focus, but for a lot of pressure, throwing it in. They'll still grab orb, but ready to just dump this utility out and cause a move for Furia.
Finesse is just holding behind the whole time.
This is sketchy. Gotta love it.
This is just pre-fired shots, though.
Right.
Finesse still has the lurk. The orb to come up, pushing up Digizine. And onto this time, and Digizine scoping down, and Finesse turns back!
Oh my gosh. That's a little revenge from the bind kill right there.
And both duelists, both jets now fallen. So we had fights on both extremities. Still, player advantage comes out for NRG. We're pivoting back towards B, where there's still the full KJ utility. The thing is, though, is it's placed towards a back push when they don't have artists anymore for energy. So this might be an opportunity with an open site.
We talked about how much that up was saved. Now down for Digizine. A clear walk up to contact here. A wall going down, but luckily a second one will be presented here. And Crashies has time to flash out with the team.
The beauty of the double controller.
Yeah.
Crashies is still looking for the control towards the back of the site, nonetheless. Everything is being shot down. There's that final nanoswarm. Khalil gets the flick onto the kill. We actually only have 13 seconds left into the round. Cove gets picked up, but at least Som gets the plant. Finesse continuing to lurk. Now the lockdown's even broken right away.
Dazera.
2v2. Now NRG knows there's a flanker from Long B. The jump spot to confirm it from Victor. It's gonna have to be a timing from both Manzini and MW0. While Victor and Finesse continues with the crossfire from B-Link in the back of the B site.
Backing up.
Now into 1v1s. Individual fights, both one on either end. Up to Victor now against NW0.
There's time.
Clock is ticking, yes, but they have to come with a tap at least now.
He knows.
Just waiting. Victor swings across.
Swing!
The flick! The 4 came to the round, but does he
Wait a
have
minute.
the time for it?
It's just there.
Does he have
It's
the time
just there.
for it?
It's got it. .29. Oh my gosh. In a bit of an altered strategy here on the side of Furia, Khalil moves the mollies that he has one into the back hall to stave off the speed of that attack. In the end, maybe that was or maybe it wasn't. Plays out to the 1v1. And what a shot by the flank. Coming in, MW0. I mean, it's the right call. Even at that distance, you choose one angle. Putting your mouse in the middle gives you a 50-50 to each angle, so you have to choose, and you have to flick if you're wrong, and what a flick we got from MW0. Ultimate here to be used for denial if Mazine wants to throw that out immediately as he gets to B. Does not. Yes, he does. Seen this strategy before from Furia here. He puts the molly mid, heads to B, and just tries to direct the opponents towards the other site.
And that could have been the story there. If NRG didn't win the round, the struggles of Furia on the retake plays, now finally getting the second one. Off a huge clutch.
Right there.
Coming out from NW0. And his mid control that was talked about earlier on for NRG seems to be one to use now. Artist just
Double
walking across,
wall.
no dash, and QCK is just waiting for the 3K.
Mid. One enemy remaining.
That wall on one way. Like, what are you gonna do trying to get through that?
Yeah.
It's like walking through cobwebs. It's just get it off. It's freaky. These games right now, all three of them
Last
delivering
round before the
here.
switch.
NRG, we worried that they didn't get too many attack rounds on Haven. They've shored that up, got a good amount here that could make a defensive side work for Pearl. And just coming through both of these walls here, so tough to readjust your aim, get into position. Furia with a great defense there.
And how do you actually want to try to go for that swing, right? The protocols of going through a high tide like that to try to trade a kill is very difficult
How
to do.
far is your far swing? What's my short swing? Yeah, everybody's wide swing.
Of the high tide for sure.
A main control coming up and a little bit of mid love here from Furia. They start to move out, covering each other's angles, and this will give them an idea of where they can crunch. but they're not going to move until that spike goes down. Obviously, no words from Khalil mean it's mostly towards A, because we get a quick flash over and through that hole of art.
In the top of window right here, top of plaza, being watched by the operator Digizine. Two other players being QCK and NW0 watching towards shop, and all of NRG pivoting across here. You talked about it. What information can they get so that they can get this pinch? This time as NRG pivots towards the B site, it's gonna have to be on Khalil's utility and the jump spots from that B site. And it's been spotted, and now the lurk comes. The retake, the flank is now activated.
Here he goes. Ouch, ouch. Artist has to move, delay plan.
Here.
He moves in for a kill on top of that.
Crazy stuff. Just
There's
wild.
a lockdown coming in.
What
Finesse
is happening?
somehow gets 2 kills from the back of control.
It's like he opened his eyes. 2 kills were there.
And you're now
Incredible
securing,
knowledge.
pretty much secured this last round. The pit to cover the back lines. The ult to delay from Victor. And the last 2 players of Furia trying to move in from the B link, where you have everything you need here. 5 players alive for NRG. Prevent the round from turning in favor of Furia. But this man is still alive right here. Finally stopped by Samwa, the operator. Up to Mancine in a 3 versus 1, but that clock's now ticking down. Securing the round here for NRG. They'll end the half now, 8-4, as the spike will go off, even if Victor gets the final kill.
Yep. And NRG one step ahead here. That positioning it long stopped Digizine from using the operator to get into a good position. Finesse has been prioritizing that position quite a bit. He's been reading how you get Digizine playing on it and how the team is retaking from the side of Furia. So just masterminding the defense there at B.
Well, we had an opportunity to speak with Digizine on the return of Carlau as a coach with the team. Let's see what he has to say.
A importância do Carlão é porque, para mim, né, é mais que um coach, ele é um líder de fato. Ele consegue liderar bem, ele sabe lidar com as pessoas, ele tem um jeito muito especial de lidar com as pessoas. É nisso que ele ganha de muitas pessoas. Então a gente estava sentindo muito essa falta, porque querendo ou não a gente estava conversando pelo TS, mas às vezes não é a mesma coisa do que tá ali presente. Realmente o cara tá ali toda hora falando o que tem que fazer, as coisas que estão certo ou errado. Então a gente estava sentindo muito isso na pele. Então a vinda, a chegada dele no caso para cá ajudou muito a nossa confiança e querendo ou não parece que deu uma nova cara pro time, sabe? A gente não tava com o nosso coach, jogamos, sei lá, metade da liga quase sem o nosso coach, então a gente queria hoje ganhar por ele, por ser estreia dele, por nós e por todo mundo que apoia a gente. Então muito importante é ter ele presente com a gente.
And they got that last time there where Carlau's return. This time it's his second game playing against NRG now, and they're really pushing it to the distance. The third map, it looked like it was really on NRG's side, but off these timeouts being called by the coach, we see an 8-4. A closer gap, but now Furia on the attack could do a lot of damage here with how MW0 this time around has been popping off since that first half. 15-8-3.
It makes them such a scary opponent. Because when you go to that attack side, if MW0 was having a good game on defense, you can expect Digizine to have a good game on attack. And still MW0 to follow up after that. So this only, I think, gets harder here. We have 2 teams that are fantastic at attacking each other. We even see Furia's attack sometime from their defense. So yeah, this is going to be on NRG to have the same game and denying that post-plan, or denying any plans, stopping Furia from getting the site.
And that's a very important one there for NRG's winning conditions, something that Mimi pointed out on the desk before. When the previous rounds, the previous matches that they played on Pearl, they've played with a raise, right? So you had those names to be able to deny as much as you could through the codes that you're going to attempt to plant, sorry, for QCK. But now that you don't have these nades, how do you activate artists on the defense? And it starts off with NRG looking for that pressure up towards the A side. And Furia to slowly move up here for some mid-side control.
It's a good point. We'll see how much trouble Cove gives them, well, since they can't ship it down as fast. A little cascade flying through, and they just want this mid control. on the enemy side. So they go all the way through towards B-Link to hit it from both. A little crossfire entry. What a neat little start to this strat, but can they execute it on site? That's where it's going to count.
This is actually going to pin Victor towards the back of the B site, especially after that flash that confirms that he's playing back there. Furia now moving in. Victor popping both nanoswarms just to cover one angle before we close in. And it's a 1-for-1. Thankfully, through the cascade, Finesse was still able to get a kill. Plant now comes down, NW0 pushing towards the spawn. But here's an off angle by Khalil. A close angle, and it's won. So far, everything's being won by Furia.
Oh my gosh, he lives blind.
Just fighting behind the pillar.
Last
Ghost
player standing.
versus the Frenzy. And Crashies versus the World.
Oh.
And the World comes crashing down as a pistol comes in for Furia.
Clean. Taking so much space. Almost undetected, I think, at first, too. It was a guessing game for NRG to start there, and then just beautiful job by Mazin at the end of B, taking out 2 alone, especially getting the blind flash jump out, knowing the movement he had to make without being able to see is always really cool to see these players having that second nature knowledge of each map and just moving around with their eyes closed, basically. Pistol round for Furia. That's the start they needed. How do they transition into the next few rounds? Giving a lot of space here to start off. They wait all the way back. So waiting for this guiding light. Crashies was not able to detect as they move out towards A. So this is all contact right now for Furia. No noise made.
When you spot them, Digizine has that Vandal.
Looks like Sam got the orb as well towards A, so they're focusing that Reckoning to come out. I think once we see Mazin get a little bit closer, this activates on site.
And a second contact play, now the execution comes in. Sam trying to get something here behind this high tide in the cascade, but it's Crashies instead that meets his demise against Digizine. QCK looking for a plant right now, and NRG are just flooding in with the pistols, breaking the cove, continuing to spray across the high tide, and Victor actually manages to get a kill onto Digizine. That's a Vandal on the ground. Chasing in towards the church. Victor loses that fight against Benzine. Now he picks up the Vandal, and he gets 3 kills.
I like the audacity there. NRG just were not giving up the site, and it did make Furia think for a few moments. They're like, wait, but no, we have Spectres and Vandals. Let's go. Pushing forward, finalizing the kills on that round once they got situated. Unfortunate there. Crashies gets taken out right at the last moment. And yeah, getting that Vandal coming out on second round of the second half. You can tell how much that Furia want to secure these rounds. Another Vandal for Digizine. Mazin has one as well. So they'll work around those here for the bonus. Very likely that they can get these to find the first frag and convert the 5v4. Oh. Okay. That's going to be a 4v3 now. If they can convert it. Very quick mid play. A lot of that first half, we saw mid just being open. Left to anybody to rotate through in the extremities or the game. But already in the second half, we see teams testing each other here for control.
Even a third.
Yeah, that's big. They still want this space.
And that's something that Furia has only done later into the half of the first half to get that mid control. For NRG, we want to do it right away. You saw that it looked like Furia were really flustered.
Right.
When we saw the player cams, but then they came in with confidence on that mid side. And then Artis had something else to say.
Just looking for some frags here. I mean, still have the Vandal, but they're going to be able to buy next round with this being Furia's bonus if we remember. So the more damage they can do, the happier that they are. Spike's still down, so we're going to see this one time out as they move around the map to get these kills. NRG, they have played so strong on the attack sides, and seeing their defensive side not be as strong is such a question for them. I remember Chet and Artis talking about how some of the fundamentals weren't clicking for them, and that was just the reason things fell apart. I think they're still ironing out a few of those defensive side things, but the attack, that's looking pretty good for NRG.
When the clock ticking down, Benzine saving his weapon. Only 1,000 credits by saving your weapon here and losing. But as you mentioned in Riv, everybody's going to be able to buy for Furia into the next round.
Yeah.
We'll see if Digizine wants to bring out that op.
Oh, you know he wants to.
On the attack.
Does he have the credit?
Yep.
I mean, I feel like he always does. It won't be for this round. Yeah, it would be different. We do see Digizine in previous matches, when it got down to the end, he was going for Vandal. He was more with the team diving forward. So that could be easily the play style that they go for here, so they can continue to take the sites and not have to have at least Mazine on the flank and Digizine out of the play. You want that guy right in the mix. Low armor buy here, facilitating a little bit more economy for Furia, as they know this is going to be a tough match to climb back to 9.
Yeah, only 50 credits short for the Digizine to be able to get that operator. So he's going to opt for the Vandal, grouped up with 2 of his teammates. As for NRG's end, still playing off information, off reaction, from turret to alarm bot and to flashes on both extremities. Digizine still looking for timing. Got the body shot there onto some. Armor is gone. And Victor, both him and Finesse push forward into B-Long to punish Mazine on alert. So that will now force Furia to rush into the A side with no A main control. Especially as Khalil falls with 2 players greeting him right there.
Dash or not, Digizine fearlessly heading in the sight, and the trades back and forth. NRG finds themselves on top with numbers. Not even needed for the rest to rotate. Sam cleans it up there with the janitorial duty to make it 10-6.
And that's something you like to see now for NRG's end, because a lot of these moments where you're able to fight back and get rounds into your favor has been around those protocols. Like this right here, the double swing to secure at least a trade. But when you don't need to do trades, when you have players that are winning duels right now too, that's gonna help too in the confidence to close off the series for NRG, which now already another timeout is being called by Furia.
So 3 rounds go very fast, especially if a loss comes in on any of them, and that's all that NRG needs here to win. So Carlisle gonna get a voice in there right now to see what they can do. A lot of ultimates to come online. They can try to focus with Mazine's Viper Pit if they get in, or the Reckoning. Do you want to get to the site, right? Can Mazine get one and then you hold the site? So maybe considering what that first orb does, if they take it slow, we've seen Furia be able to play these rounds and so well from even 4v5. If we remember back to Bind, they kept winning their 4v5s. They have one of the highest percentage of winning a 4v5. So if they can take it slow, get the A orb, move back to B, and then execute maybe QCK's Reckoning or Mazine's ult after plant, I think they have a great idea to flip this game back over on NRG.
Could definitely see that being one of the main sites, one of the winning conditions, at least for this round for Furia, is to get that orb onto QCK, clearing out that site, then deciding if you want to put that pit down or not.
Exactly.
And that is going to be control of the B side orb. Cloudburst on the ground to avoid the flash. Actually, that's nice, but
super sweet.
Fortunately, the shot wasn't as. It allows Furia to move forward. Digizine down to 3 HP though. Yet the orb never really got picked up. Artis gets another shot down towards a B-Link lurk, and there's that Reckoning. But the Reckoning's out on the defender's half instead, trying to punish them back, trying to keep them back. Interesting enough, the orb being picked up by NW0 instead.
1 minute left. Could Mazine actually grab this and pit towards A, and then they get the hit? Like we said, taking the round longer. Furia does so well when they can sword again, call an audible, and get this mid-round strat to just get NRG off their game.
Just want to maximize the amount of ultimates you're going to get in this round or the next. Our Furia. The one-way being popped up by Finesse. As a bird swings by and flies across.
30 seconds left.
In A already. Mazine's ready. Doesn't have the Viper's Pit, but they're taking so much space off this contact. Furia do this so damn well.
Look at that ping towards the window. Last time Crashies did get a kill there, but Mazine decides to continue to move forward, and Crashies is actually behind the site to support Som.
10 seconds.
Flashing about 10 seconds left on the clock. Finesse
remaining.
does get the kill on the Digizine. No plant comes in. A team ace out for NRG.
A little bit of tracking being done the whole round by NRG to slowly lean from side to side. They choose correctly with the gamble towards A there, with just a bit of information gained across the map. And that one went down to the pressure cooker round. So your choice has to be, oh my, okay. We could have not shown that. I feel a little sick now. Oh my gosh. But yeah, NRG come up with that. Team ace around the board, so you know everybody was getting to the rotation quick enough.
Get out of my way!
And now Bladestorm, operator online.
The flash and the peek out, the Bladestorm, 1 for 1.
Good trade.
Song tries to fall back, but still being hunted, still being chased. The up trap out from the Jazine, but it's saved by Finesse. Now even a Trailblazer clear out towards Art. Just delays now. What else can you do here for Furia? High tied up and all 3 players already there, so time to try to move in. Finesse hears the footsteps trying to get the spray through the high tide, and there's that Viper pit.
Spike planted.
Wow. Spamming them down.
Lee Spike is planted. No utility here for Finesse, but there is flashes available. First one being used by Crashies. Second one for a 4-player push inside.
Finesse, knowing the angles he can find around this Viper wall, tries to prime those for an attack. 4v2 on this.
Right click misses, but the shorty does get the kill, traded off by the turret. Now a real 2 versus 1 as the turret falls. The tap onto the spike, the Victor kill to put NRG at map and series point.
All the way to the 3rd map. And now NRG on game point here, only allowing Furia 6 rounds here. 13-11 in favor of NRG on Bind. 13-11 in favor of Furia on Haven. And NRG come out swinging on map 3 to have nothing of it. A 12-6 score line here on game point. We'll see how they continue to push forward. It is just going to be the up again towards long. We, like you mentioned, saw a neat little artist smoke towards the ground with a cloud burst to try and deny all this utility that Jets see. So you can see little solutions being put into place for what Furia has to offer here. And now it's going to be that A main control. Khalil with the possibility to get ultimate, but Reckoning is ready. So they're looking to use that on the side of Furia. Early Seekers, not too much info other than what NRG already knew.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Seekers going a little bit deeper around the corner of A long. Now puts NRG back into a rotate to play the default spots. Everybody was really gambling towards the A side. You saw the early rotate coming out from Artis. And now he repositions out towards B long. But as you mentioned, the Seekers out from Crashies, we still have it available for MW0.
I've got your trail.
And used. Artis with the first shot, does find it. A quick lurk down long B, and this rest of the hit's gonna go all the way back to A.
And that's Crashies, a dash away from the Jazine, allowing QCK to pick up that kill. Reckoning going inside the site, and Psalm is trying to find the timing here. Reckoning now disappears, and Psalm moves inside the site just by the dugout. The first one, the kill from behind. It thought the site was clear, gets the wall bang on the second one. Of the 2 players left now for Furia to keep the dream alive, make that even 1. Instantly stopped and denied by NRG. As the race continues for this team to secure a playoff spot, and Furia still had to fight, still had to win another game to try to secure their own playoff spot.
And what a round again by Finesse in the back of the site. Pivotal in being able to control anything past the coffee shop and A, past default plant, and there, staying silent to stay deadly. Nobody was even looking at him on the site take. They were reading Furia's game so well onto Pearl. After we had 2 13-11s, I expected another close one, but NRG have that distance in them now. They seem so much more comfortable getting onto these maps, and we saw everybody fragging around the board above 10.
Let's talk about those fraggers once again, at least on Furia's short end of the stick. Losing 6-13, and MW0 is still on the top of everybody else. 18 kills, followed by Psalm at 15. They did whatever they could, put up a great fight against the opposition. Speaking of Furia on that 3rd map, but it falls in short.
Yeah.
The flood retake plays from NRG were just way too strong.
And NRG play a little bit of ruiner here. This, if Furia won, would have locked them in a playoff spot. So a little more work to be done in that sense, and NRG's feeling good to tie basically the score line besides the round differential of what Furia has right now in the league. What a showing from both teams, and NRG able to come out on top.
Good games exchanged from both of these players. And now the victors, NRG moving forward. There's also my favorite substitute player, Ethos.
Oh yeah, always. Always, you know, joining up there. The brain goes into the game from everybody on that staff. And there you have Chet on the side as well as Artis giving a fist pump out. Look how happy this NRG squad is. Finding a lot of solutions to the problems that plagued them here in the beginning of the split, and regarded by many here, even in my interview with Ethan the other day, that could be the top dogs here that we're seeing, and they just haven't shown it all yet.
Yeah, and did a great job here for NRG. A very slow start when it started the season, right? Everybody had NRG as favorites moving into the VCT Americas for 2023, and now they have a chance to come back fighting into the later rounds, the later weeks here of the VCT Americas, and almost securing now an opportunity to get into the playoffs. This has been a great story so far for NRG. The downs and the ups, but at least the ups are looking strong for this team.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see more of what teams have for each other this season. Seeing that back and forth on Bind, teams are about to show us a little bit more. There's still maps teams haven't showed. I think there's a lot of little pocket strats we're about to see here to make that playoffs run a possibility for a lot of teams.
And with that, a big congratulations to NRG. It's time for our break. But on the other side of this break, we will have the Verizon post-match interview and the analysts on the desk.
Welcome back, everybody, to VCT Americas, and welcome to the Verizon post-match interview. I'm here with W streamer Sum. After a 2-1 victory against Furia, a big match for what is going to be playoffs in the future as we're getting closer and closer to the end of that regular season that we have right now. There was a lot of pressure for this match, and for that specific reason. Do you ever feel that pressure when it is, in the middle of the match, in a half, after losing that second map? Is there a moment where it hits you? We really need this win. We really need to keep forward to make sure that you're all the way at the top.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a little bit of pressure. It's just about how we handle it, and I think today we handled it pretty well. But I think we played pretty well up to our standards, and I think if we keep it up, playoffs is in sight.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty good for you right now. I want to ask you something about Bind. So, your team last year and the core of Optic, they were really good on Bind, and now you're getting the chance to play that map. You're playing that harbor. You're playing that controller. How is it for that team to implement you into everything that they were doing last year, implementing new ideas, kind of like Chet and also Finesse being like, hey, this is everything that we did. This is how we're going to implement you into it.
Yeah, I mean, all of my teammates, obviously in the past, they were super confident on Bind, and when it finally released, it was kind of just like a put in play. They just put me in. They said like, these are what we like to do, this is what we didn't like to do, and then it just kind of meshed well. Obviously, with like the past performances on Bind for the past roster, it just meshed well, and we were super confident.
Yeah, and it is looking pretty good, especially when we saw that massive comeback in the second half.
Yeah.
And you playing a lot of that controller role, playing a lot of that harbor, and playing even that Astra, how was that communication for you in that specific post-plan scenario, and all the setups that you have? How communicative do you have to be, knowing that everybody kind of also has that and fills that role?
Yeah, I mean, with Harbor especially, I think you have a lot of control on how you want to manipulate the map or work a certain part of the map. So I think for Harbor, especially for me, I have to mid-round a lot. Obviously, it's not just me. FNS, Crashies, everyone on the team like says a lot in the mid-rounds, but as a controller, as a Harbor, it's a lot. But yeah.
And speaking a little bit more of the future, that next match is going to be so interesting. Going to be against Loud.
Yeah.
How are you feeling for that matchup? Obviously, a Loud that is undefeated right now, but you guys coming up and looking better every time.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting rematch. Last time we played them was at Brazil, and it was a close match, and we're looking to get revenge.
Yeah, we're so excited to see that. You have so many fans, and I have a feeling that you're going to have a lot of fans supporting you for that specific match. The NA crowd is definitely here, and everybody here supporting you. I want to give you actually this time for anything that you want to say to everybody watching over there.
I mean, yeah, obviously, thank you guys for all the support and love. It's been amazing. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Sam, and we're going to throw it to the desk to close of the day.
Thank you so much, Dryad. Always a pleasure to hear from the homie Sam as NRG pick up the win. But that's not all the NRG love that we have yet, because we're joined by the man himself, my captain, oh captain. It's, of course, Finesse, joining us here today. Congratulations, man. How you feeling?
Good. Satisfied with the win for sure, but I think we should have been able to close it out on Haven. So
okay.
It's a little disappointing that we didn't, but yeah, definitely back to the drawing board on that map.
So obviously, with the way that this split has gone, it's been grueling. It's been a long process. But I really do want to understand the player's perspective, because I try and talk to you guys and find out how you guys are doing and feeling. Yeah. How difficult has this whole thing been? Because I know that you guys have been labbing and working every single freaking day.
It's stressful, especially when you start 1 and 3. Yeah. It's very stressful. But I think the team has done a pretty good job of staying together, understanding that, we need to fix our mistakes, going into the server, just making sure we're correcting the right things, and also not overcomplicating things.
For sure.
And obviously, we had a little bit of a role fiasco at the first couple of weeks, so just went back to our comfort zone, made sure that even if I'm lurking, I'm still going to be able to call, and just had enough faith in everybody else that they'll be able to pick up the slack. So yeah, so far so good.
That's good.
Yeah, and with that practice and like preparation, what did you think facing the 2 comps that Furia brought out today? Because it was 2 kind of different ones than what a lot of other people have answered. The double duelist on Bind, and then going back to their Harbor Viper comp on Haven, which no one else is really running.
I mean, as soon as they let through Bind and Haven, we kind of assumed that it was going to be weird comps, because I don't think they would have been able to beat us on a regular one. So we assumed that much, but yeah, I think their pace on Bind definitely caught us off guard early on. Like, they literally just ran up short on the first gun round, and we're just like, oh, okay. And so that consistently happens. And then when both their duelists are also hitting all their shots, I think they both started like 8 and something. So that makes it difficult as well. But yeah, luckily for us on T side, we were able to come back, and then going into the next map, it was very similar, like you said, a weird comp with Harbor and Viper, but we kind of always knew where they were going regardless. We almost always had the correct stack, but we lost a couple of bad sight rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of like coming back on bind, on defense you guys had like a shaky start, and on attack it's kind of like you had that iconic quote, right, where it's like just give me 3 or give me 2 and I got us on attack. What's going through your head when you guys are down that many rounds? And a lot of it relies on you having a lights out calling half, and you're in that position where your entire team is trusting you. Like, what's going through your head in that moment?
We're just so comfortable specifically on bind attack. So regardless of what happens on defense, we know as long as we are able to get that pistol or maybe eco them, we can do a pretty good job. And luckily for us, we were able to get that pistol and the bonus, I think, because Artist 2v1'd on the bonus, so that was massive as well. But in general, they just kept giving us a lot of map control. And I think when teams give me as a caller that much map control, they're gonna lose. So it was very easy for me to then manipulate rotations just because I have U-Haul, I have hookah, I have long, I have bathrooms. So yeah, they just gave us too much space.
Once you got into those post ones in the late rounds, so I think one thing that it seemed like you guys were doing a really good job at, and that you always do a really good job at, is kind of like in those late round situations where a lot of other teams might lean into the chaos, kind of taking a pause, slowing things down for a second, and then coming out with a new idea. How did you manage to like keep everyone on the same page in those situations where I think a lot of other teams, even at this level, can sometimes let that chaos get the better of them?
I think players like Victor and Crashies go underrated in that situation. I think they do a very good job of just letting me have my time. And I think Artists, same thing, Sam thing, same thing. And I think for Artists and Sam, it was a little bit more of a learning curve. That's how I like to call it. I just need time. And for them, they just try to stay alive and make sure that they're holding, you know what I mean? And so I think that time is what's most valuable to me, because I'm then able to make a correct decision. Because when you hold and you don't do anything, for example, in a round on bind when I was in my Viper ult for like ever, I kind of knew that they were confused about what we were doing. We could TP, we can't TP, and then so I just put the ult down. But I was able to call all of that in my Viper ult because my teammates gave me the time.
Speaking of your teammates, one thing I've noticed just watching like the player cams is whenever like a hype round happens, you obviously hear Sam like yelling and getting hype, but always the camera cuts to you, and then you're just like, dead, just focused. Not dead, just super focused. And I'm like, I really felt that because I'm calling and I just really want to focus on the Rex round. I'm like, I'm already thinking on what to do next. Is that kind of similar for you? You kind of let Sam like take that lead on the hype because you're just trying to get that next thought, that next call out?
That, but I also just don't feel anything.
Okay. So it's an emotional issue.
Yeah,
then.
honestly.
Okay.
Honestly, it is. I don't like go like, oh my, unless someone wins a really big clutch round, then you'll see me like kind of go crazy. But when it comes to just like if we're winning rounds over and over again and it's like not close, it's very rare that I'll be like, yes, nice, or whatever. I just don't have it in me, I don't think.
What walk us through this experience, because obviously, you know, you've been playing for such a long time now, but now that, you know, you guys are all together, you've been putting in this work week in and week out, this has been a job. You guys have been at it each and every day. What have you learned from this experience to help you not just grow as a player, but also as a person?
I mean, learn to live with roommates. That's a first. It's been a while since I had to live with roommates.
That'll teach you.
Yeah, so that's more of an outside, like, in life situation. But when in game, I think it's just about giving each other time to like improve and not really playing the blame game, not being like, not feeding into the ego of the community where they're like, oh, cut this guy.
So when you guys were losing, was it like?
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
But there's nothing. We're trying to fix it. And so I think literally as soon as we sat down after the C9 game, in the practice room, I was just like, I think we just need to go back to our regular comps and just call it a day.
Damn.
And then see what happens afterwards. I think we spent a little bit too much time trying to experiment with people that don't have enough chemistry with us. For example, Artisan, Sam.
Yeah.
So I think when we went back to our comforts, it just helped everybody play their own game. And then I think that helped our chemistry a little bit, like grow a little bit.
Fair.
Yeah, and it seems like now you guys are fully hitting the form that we'd expect of you and that I'm sure you guys have expected of yourselves.
Yeah.
And the next game that you're going to play is against Loud, which is the team that you played every event constantly, every damn game last year. And now is NRG playing them for the first time since lock-in. What's your expectations for that one? Because it's going to be a pretty pivotal match. You have to win one of these next two to make playoffs.
We just have to win. I just think it doesn't even matter. We have to win both, in my opinion. Just make it so there's no chance that we don't qualify. We have to give everything we have for Loud, obviously. I think there's, 7-0 now?
Yeah, flawless.
So, yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. It always is with them, but there's no sense of intimidation just because we've played them for so long. We're so familiar. So it's just both teams respect each other. I think it'll be a good game for sure.
All right, so ready to have some fun?
Oh, boy.
Well, guys, you know, hey, look, man, the production team here at VCT, right? They live and breathe Valorant all the time. Okay, they're so good at their jobs, and they know the game inside and out. They know the strats. They know everything. So with the launch of Premier, they figured, why not try to replicate some of the amazing strategies that we have seen NRG implement over the course of the season? And you know, for our first experiment, we tried this strat that NRG used on Lotus, and you can go ahead and you probably remember this one here. Just a tad. So, you know.
Literally never practiced this before.
Never practiced it.
We didn't either, so.
So at least you guys have that in common. And then walk me through that. Is that just like a live call then? Is that just you being like, this is where they are, go?
We just saw a situation. We thought there would be one. There were three. Because we were just going to kill whoever the Killjoy was that's lurking there.
Yeah.
So we just used all our utility for him. It just happened to be more people there, and they were just kind of a mess. So,
so it was a happy accident.
Love to see I'll take it. Yeah. We'll take those.
Okay, all right, so we got it, right? It's easy, right? So here's the deal. We assembled a team of the most cracked out Valorant talent that we could possibly find, and we put them in a 5-stack in Premier with strats ready to go. Here's what happened.
All right, we're fighting this. We're fighting this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yep, dogging.
Paranoying.
Guys?
Standing.
I'm gonna 1v5 this.
NT.
Okay, nice. Flashing.
Oh my god, I got stunned.
Oh my god!
No way.
Okay, last round the NRG strat's gonna work.
It's gotta work now. You could also try to TP there if you wanted.
Okay, I'll TP there.
That could be an absolutely
An extra
crazy
element to
work
it.
on it.
Guys, I'm coming with the blitz. We're putting our own spin on it.
Brent, you can TP in your runway.
Yeah, I know.
I'm blind.
Blinded.
135. Oh, nice,
I don't
nice.
have my dash. Are you paranoid?
One more, paranoid.
I'm dead. I can't
They're
paranoid
dead.
shit.
They're dead.
Killjoy.
Ooh,
Last one.
one bullet.
One.
That was not the NRG play, but that was
But that
an
was a
improvised version
victorious
of it.
round.
All right, so maybe I trolled a little bit, and we didn't get the most cracked out players except for Bala. So sorry, Mimi.
That's
Don't
really
listen,
messed
don't
up.
Finesse, what did you make of that, my friend? What did you see? How could they improve?
First of all, they're having too much fun.
Okay. That's number one.
So don't have that much fun while playing.
That's number one.
You have to take it super seriously.
Number
Okay.
two.
And
That's right.
then
Number two.
let me
Too
think.
seriously.
What's number
Too
two?
seriously. Okay.
Yeah, I just got to get better players, I think.
Just get better.
That's what I did.
Who are you dropping?
That's what I did. I
changes
just
you
stacked.
making?
I'm not saying that. Are you kidding me? Not a chance.
Who of the talent team? Who would you drop?
I mean, I think if you asked Reddit, they would want to drop half the team.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
And
They
I'm
would
going
just
to be
keep
Reddit
Bala
here.
and
I'm going to be the
rebuild
Reddit
their
voice here. So
just keep Bala, just start the whole team over again. Oh man. Well, guys, with week 6, coming to a close, here are the standings, and Loud have officially clinched top 2, which that is going to be quite interesting to see how that plays off for the playoffs. And then, of course, Furia is going to be knocked out of the top 2 contention. Crew, obviously, as you can see highlighted by red, will not be able to make it to playoffs. And NRG, with that win, they're in 4th place, baby. Finesse, how's that feel, man?
I mean, it's still not enough, but
I love it.
We'll take the 3 wins.
I feel like every time I talk to you, I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? You always say, it's not enough, bro. It's just not enough.
Goes back to rule number 2, have no fun.
Yeah, literally. That, but also, I just think we're really, really disappointing in terms of closing out games early on in the season, right? Like,
Yeah.
It might be all right. 12-20. We were 12-10 up last map, and we couldn't close. So I think we had some choking issues there, and hopefully that goes away.
Yeah, well, here are the matches that we're going to be checking out next week. We have Furia versus 100 Thieves, and then it's going to be the Evil Geniuses taking on MIBR to open up the week for VCT Americas. It's going to be quite exciting. And yeah, what match are you looking forward to, Mimi?
For the first day, I think Furia 100 Thieves I'm looking forward to. Furia's looking pretty solid. 100 Thieves had that really rough 2 games in a row where they just got stomped out. So I'm wondering if they're going to be able to rebound or if that's just going to kind of be the form for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And Mel, I know we won't have you here next week, Saj, but you were awesome. Anything? What's next for you? Where should we be seeing you in VCT?
I mean, I fly back home tonight. I'm back to practice tomorrow, buddy.
Okay.
So.
Girl, all right. I hear you. And Finesse Man, the floor is yours. I mean, anything that you really just want to say, is open floor for the...
I mean, not much else. Just thank you for supporting us, the people that have stuck around, the NRG fans that didn't leave when we were 1-3. I appreciate it. Yeah, besides that, you guys are all on the desk doing a great job, so thank you.
Thank you.
Production, thank you. Riot, thank you. Yeah.
That's it. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Always welcome here. All right, guys, well, that is going to do it for our show. But don't worry, as always, there's plenty more VCT action. You got Pacific, you have EMEA. But for now, though, I'm going to leave you with your Prime Gaming post-day highlights. You have a good one, and we'll see you next week. Two teams both desperate for a win. North America's NRG going up against Brazil's Furia. It's all gonna go down right here, right now. Let's see how this plays out.
Last two players alive for Furia into this round. And as Victor peeks out, Dejazine gets the aggressive push in. A 2v2 now. 2 rifles make that 1 rifle, and a blade storm for the headshot. Vandals, Bulldogs, as both snake spites already used up.
Oh my. That was saucy. Very nicely done.
Looking for the Bane switch. Spraying across, but Finesse is the one that gets the kill. And it's NRG with the comeback and wins the first map 13-11. And help his teammates. The fight comes down. Finesse saves the planter. And that's Artis with a judge with a kill. Oh my God, what a kill by Dejazine. And a second one.
No.
It's up to Victor in the front. 1v1, only with the Bulldog, and bites in for the kill. Oh, wow. An opportunity for them to just chase down these kills, die, get alt orbs, do whatever they can. And with that, we will be going into a third map. The flash, at least we answer back for a bit of damage. Crash is getting 3 kills in an orb. You're getting so close now. Get a high tide crosses towards the back of the halls. Flash to flash, and it's a surprise one from Som. The spray with the Ares with the second one too. The Casino moving in. Instantly stopped and denied by NRG as the race continues for this team.